Look at that old boy. Very cool trees. If you're into trees, this is the place. Right, this is Fanal Forest, or the foggy forest. My worry was that it was just going to be like Wales, but straight away from parking you have all of these trees, which what it's really well known for, including the fog. And apparently they are early growth trees, whatever that means. Of 600 years old, and one of the last forests of its type in Europe. It's quite interesting actually, because the trail at the southeast point of Madeira is super dry, whereas this side is really wet, and I think all of the moisture just comes off the sea, hits the mountains, and then just drops on this area of the mountains. It's like a rain trap or whatever it's called. But true to its name, it is super foggy, and I think I'm going to get absolutely soaked. But that's fine. Stroll around here, look at some cool twisted gnarly trees, and try not to step in too much cow shit. It's quite well known for its just cows that roam the area. These trees are very cool. I already know I've made a terrible mistake. I didn't bring any change of clothes or a towel. When you drive up here, about 2 weeks ago they had a load of forest fires here, and the whole hillside is completely burnt. And then you come over the top of the hill and you can see the fog just like sitting there, and then you just descend into it. The guys with the ponchos have the right idea. Feels like the top of that volcano in Ometepe, where everything's just soaked constantly, like the never-ending story. Look at this stuff though. Very cool trees. If you're into trees, this is the place. Pretty amazing, they're so twisted. Could definitely shoot a horror film here. Look at that old boy. That was a human, he would have had a hard life. Right, I'm not sure how much longer I can stay here. I'm getting absolutely soaked. I wonder if it was raining very hard this morning, so I'm not sure if this is typical, but considering it's usually very foggy, I wouldn't be surprised. Funnily enough, you actually get wetter underneath the trees. Droplets are bigger. Let's explore up here. Supposedly it's quite easy to get lost around here. I wouldn't be surprised. Luckily people have phones, so GPS can help you, but you can't see more than 150 meters. Those are strange sounding cows. Well, as I was walking back to the car, it stopped raining. Then 10 minutes later, the sun's coming out. Welcome to Madeira. There is a path, like a PR. All of the trails are known as PR 13.1 or whatever the number is. There is one that goes round about 10 kilometers. So you can do that. One thing to note is that sound travels a really long way up here and it's really peaceful. But when you get groups that are shouting and hollering, as the Americans would say, it's a little bit annoying. So keep your voices down. Definitely worth coming up here. Those trees are, they're very, very cool. Right. Look at that. It's just suddenly cleared up. You literally cannot predict the weather here. Suddenly got hot. I'm sweating now. It's nuts. What's going on? 3 minutes later, completely clear. No fog now. What? I reckon total time elapsed has been less than 20 minutes since it was pissing it down. Again, a bit like the peak to peak. I think it looks better with the cloud and the mist. I do. Although it's nice not to be getting soaked. Awesome. Now see how many people there are here, just dotted around, taking pictures near the trees and looking at the trees. You couldn't see anybody before. That's amazing how quickly it's just like that. Well, I guess with better weather comes more people, but that's well worth going to see. I'm not just saying it. You sort of want the fog. It's called the foggy forest. It's known for its fog. So, I don't know. It's really easy. You just drive up here, you can park really close. There's not a huge walk to it. And you get to see something that you wouldn't usually see elsewhere. Muy bien.